So we're gonna move on to the next. Um,
Ooh.
so Resident Evil, the movie, has come out with their subtitle for the movie. It's called Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. They delayed it till November since they didn't want to compete with the Shang-Chi Marvel movie that's coming out on the same week. So, what are your thoughts on the title, and what do you think of the movie since it's going to take place in the mansion and Raccoon City? Randy, since you're being so quiet, put the fucking game down.
I was listening. I just didn't have anything to say.
Why are you always yelling at him?
Right?
Because I know what he's doing.
I could be sitting here with my nuts in my hand, and you still wouldn't be right.
Randy, put your nuts down.
Fine. Anyways, if it's gonna be like a kind of origin thing, if anything, that'd be pretty neat, honestly.
It's the game.
'Cause
They're doing the game
Oh, it's
from
the game, the movie now?
Mansion and Raccoon
Shit.
City. Yeah.
Was not paying attention.
So sorry.
Me neither. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear that part either. So you win.
No, either way though, that does seem pretty good though. So it'll be 1 and 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
What was the question?
So, what do you guys think of the title? Because the title,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
always iffy
Okay.
about titles when it comes to
Oh, yeah,
like
I'm sure it
subtitles.
is a good
It's
one.
called Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. And then on top
So
of that,
I
what are your thoughts
scrolled
of the
down.
movie in general?
Yeah, I scrolled down and saw the confirmed cast,
Yeah.
and it is Chris, Claire, Leon, Jill, Wesker, Ada, and William.
Yep.
So yeah, it's 1 and 2. Okay. Who's gonna be behind this though?
I do not remember. What does it say?
Johannes Roberts, 47 meters down. Isn't that the shark horror movie?
Yes.
That giant shark horror movie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that good?
No, probably not. I mean, I never seen it, but I can tell you right now.
I mean, honestly, just what? Okay. Do I expect a lot? Not at all. Should I
Unpaid.
expect a lot? Definitely not. But what I would like is if they kept the original campy ass shitty acting from like the actual Capcom games.
Oh, that would be no. In the beginning, yes, I think the beginning when he first opened that door and he goes, "What is going?" Like they should do it, and then you can get regular, like he snaps out of it. But that would be awesome.
You know what I would love actually
hold on,
with
can-
that
can
idea
Jill
is
sandwich?
that in the end of the movie they could do like bloopers or like cut scenes in that style.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna do this for the one time. Just one time. Okay? Just bear with me. Everybody
I
should.
already know what you're gonna do.
This hall is dangerous.
There you go.
Like a
Heaven,
line,
that
a
soundboard.
line like that every now and then would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
they
I'll
gonna,
just take it
are they gonna,
straight.
Like,
Don't-
make the Jill sandwich a badass line or something?
You gotta fit in Jill Sandwich. You gotta fit in Master of Unlocking.
Oh,
What
God.
else?
You're gonna take a look at this. They need that in that movie.
Oh, I'm not thrilled if they're gonna keep the giant spider, aren't they?
Yep.
Who knows? Or a giant snake, or the giant shark. They could do anything. The giant plant.
Oh, they
I
gotta
could
do-
live with those, just
Oh,
not the spider.
just not the spider.
I think for the movie's sake, and as long as they keep true to the original game,
Yeah.
which sometimes can be hard because storylines in those games aren't actually that much. Because you're playing the game, it makes it seem longer. So, storyline's sake, they do have to add and make shit crazy. But
Well,
And
no,
that's where it's gonna
one
be
and two
weird.
have like short stories, then it should be able to condense itself into like a 2-hour movie. No,
will it feel like two different movies? If you're doing 1 and 2, will it?
Yeah. It's 2 movies. There's a lot more to kind of cover with 2 movies.
Yeah.
well, we'll just see how it plays out. I would like them to recreate the live action opening from RE1 though.
It was
The live action. No.
Yeah,
Don't go.
Yeah.
yeah, with all the character intros and shit. That would be pretty neat at least.
Yeah. I mean, they have to have like the infamous first zombie when you see it looks up at you.
When it looks behind you.
and you
behind
shoot it in
him.
the head right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I mean, there's like all those little things they can do, and it's kind of what you wanted. Kind of what you wanted from the first original movie, Resident Evil movie that came out, the live action one.
Yeah.
That was freaking horrible. Nothing like it. Should have called it fucking Dead or whatever. But it was a completely different movie. this is what you want. So, and they've done good Resident Evil movies in the past. There was, one that with Leon or whatever it was, and they've done them halfway decent where they looked and felt decent. I mean, they weren't the best, don't get me wrong, but it's fucking Resident Evil. Can't expect that much. So as long as there's somewhat, like I said, somewhat to the main storyline, the original storyline, keep it similar, people enjoy it.
So to answer everybody's question, essentially, it's still a cautious optimism, as in every video game movie.
High hopes, low expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
So like you
kinda
want to
good
hope for the
because-
best, just like go in not being too excited.
Yeah.
So if I'm surprised and pleasantly surprised, I'll keep it at that.
I'm actually not excited. I'm honestly, like, I think this is going to be another Paul W.S. Anderson bullshit in some way. And
What's Paul W.S. Henderson?
he's the guy who directed the original Resident Evil movies with
Oh,
Mila
okay.
Jovovich.
Yeah, Mila.
Yeah.
I mean, the
So-
first one wasn't bad. It's just that it had no.
No, the
It
first one
shouldn't have
was
really been called.
what it was, but the rest of them was where it got
The
fucked
rest of
up.
them were horrible.
Yeah.
The rest of them was weird action movies because
Alright,
that
you
one
guys want-
scene with Mila Jovovich
guys
kicking
want my-
dogs is so cool. People loved it.
Kevin?
You guys want my answer? This Nerf gun, right? See how nice it is, right? If you place it directly to the temple, it does no damage. But if you throw it up in the air and it hits you in the face, it does a lot of damage.
Shoot your camera.
Just keep it on camera, just like this.
Shoot your camera.
I have no bullets.
It's not even loaded. God damn it.
Aw.
Nah, listen, I'm not a big fan of the live action Resident, and especially if it's a live action movie, I'm not a big fan of it.
Even the first one?
No, I hated all of them. I've watched all of them because I was a big zombie buff, but I fell in love with the animated movies. If they go with that route,
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Like-
I would throw my. Yeah. Go ahead.
So what is it the animes offer that the other movies don't? Because both are very much action packed.
Okay, so with the animated movies, I believe it was the most recent one with Leon and Chris when they were on the mission together, and that whole movie it fit those characters so well. Like it didn't even have to have the same voice actor, but it was like the way that they shot the movie and animated the characters. It fit the characters so well, especially Leon with his pistol and Chris with his machine gun or his assault rifle. It felt so them. You know what I mean? Especially for the character, like the way that they did it. The live action movies, I've seen Leon, I've seen Chris, and I was like, who the fuck are these people? Till they had to roll to the credits, and then I was like, that was Leon and that was Chris, that was Ada.
So
Like, it's-
just like Big says here, you'd rather, obviously action is a part of the franchise in general that you need. A bunch of zombies, you're gonna have that, of course, but what you really want is more character development and being true to the characters.
Yes, but even being true to the character is sometimes a bad thing. Like it's if you're too close to the source, it doesn't feel original. It just feels like it's an adaptation. What I want is like them to do something different with the story, but don't be like some other world like situation that it's like it doesn't need to be. Just put your own like twist on it, I guess, more or less. Like you can give us the helicopter scene, you can give us the Jill sandwich, you can give us the first zombie. The first zombie if they can make the first zombie look better than the game, I think they already did. They're gonna do something well. But don't keep too close to the hip. You know what I mean? Like don't be there all the time. You can expand. You can be different, but just don't be out of this world. I guess more or less to say it. Like don't go beyond what you're doing. But and then I feel like that's asking for too much. Like for them not to be too different, but then keep close to the source. But I don't know. A lot of people did do that.
I think that's what everybody's scared about. That's why people say we're like that cautious optimism because we know that the game is the game storyline and is not worth 2 hours worth of content to keep you interested. They have to put something in the middle. They have to put stuff that ties actual stuff together, action stuff together. You're not gonna have a guy just who walk around like you're watching a video game. So what will they add, and will it match with the rest of the scenes that were in the game and make it still seem like the game.
The movies have a tough spot because with movies you're passive, right? You're only watching the movie. So the character development is important because you have to be able to care for the character as you're just watching him do whatever it is he has to do. Whereas in a game, you're emotionally invested because you're controlling this person and you already know the shit that he's been through. For example, Leon, you know all the craziness that he's gone through in the police department because you played him, because you've done all these things to him. So you are emotionally invested in that way. If you're watching a movie and you're watching him do all that stuff, you don't know shit about him and you don't really care.
You
Which is also why
speedrun
I don't.
tactics. Just add speedrun tactics. The entire movie's just a speedrun. Give us 2 hours.
With Hunk.
Well, also, just putting it out there, we really shouldn't expect anything at this point because 47 down uncaged, it did pretty shit.
Yeah, it was 45% on the Rotten Apple.
Rotten Tomatoes.
IBM. IMDb gave it 5.
My theory with directors like this, like not to knock on him because maybe he's got his own style that he wants to work on this shark movie or Resident Evil, whatever it may be. But my theory on hiring directors like this to have like B or even D movies is that they're cheap. And that Resident Evil probably didn't have that much of a budget, but they wanted to get it made because it has a name. So this guy, probably found out this guy was a big fan, or maybe he even offered to take the job or suggested that he take the job. So he put himself out there and he ended up making this movie. So maybe he is a fan, but his artistic direction may not be what fits this movie. The only reason why he got the job is probably because it was cheap. That's what worries me.
Also, with sometimes directing these animated films are way different directing the movies. There's a lot more things that have to go by on the fly, where as a director who is not actually programming the game kind of has to deal with what they have sometimes.
The limitations of the actors and the actresses and the environment and everything.
Yeah, so they have to. So when you're doing a real movie and you have limitations, your actors, something happens, get hurt, whatever it is, you have to do things cut around. When it comes to games or movies that are animated, it's already been done. So you're some of the final edits is already been done. Nothing much you can do. Like a great example is Tim Burton. Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton had nothing to do with that fucking movie. I mean, you guys watched the documentary on movies? They did a Tim Burton on it, and he literally had nothing to do with this fucking movie. Everybody else did, and he threw his name on it. Yeah. Because he had such a big name, and it was his concept and his ideas with some of the characters, and that was pretty much it. And even that was like, okay, we're gonna draw something that Tim Burton would draw. That was the idea.
Yeah, he was throwing the ideas, the original concept back in like the Beetlejuice days or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of this had nothing to do with him. He looked at every now and then. Well, okay, good. Keep going. So that could be the same thing with this. They just wanted somebody who has a name, who's done movies. The rest of this be done by the editors, by the programmers, by everything else. And at the end of the day, he'll just have very little final say. I mean, we don't know how much this director in this is actually going to play out. For all we know, it's, will be just as good as all the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, and then I'd rather just have it surprise me with something good then. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Me too.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I watched Monster Hunter and I was disappointed, so I'm not really looking forward to any movie.
Oh, I never watched that Monster Hunter.
Anything with Anderson and Mila together, just don't even bother anymore. Like I think it's so unfair that Mila gets to jump into all these movies that are beloved franchises, and it's only because, or at least I feel like that it's only because her husband is a director,
I mean, she's not the worst actress in the world.
No, definitely not. She has a specific style.
At the end of the day, it's still the script that they wrote. They wrote a horrible script for these Resident Evils. They chose to not to have any of this match. Yeah, they chose not to. Yeah, they wanted the name. That's all it was. They did the best of what they got. The fact that they had Wesker and tried to tie in anything is
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from this one here.